Expats are happiest in these 5 countries in 2026, but number 1 isn't what you expect. What if the reason you're unhappy isn't your job, isn't your lifestyle, but simply the country you live in? Every year, thousands of people make a life-changing decision. They move abroad. Sometimes it's for retirement, sometimes it's for work, and sometimes it's simply to find a better life. But something fascinating happens when expats move to certain countries. They often report being significantly happier than before. Less stress, more freedom, better lifestyle, stronger social connections, and often a completely different perspective on life. But here's the important question: which countries actually make expats happiest? In this video, we're exploring 5 destinations where expats consistently report high levels of happiness and life satisfaction. These countries offer very different lifestyles, but they share one thing in common. People who move there often say the same thing: "I wish I had done this sooner." And by the end of this video, you might discover a place that completely changes how you think about your future. 5. New Zealand. Number 5 on this list is New Zealand, and before I give you the data, I want to address the thing that surprises most people when they see New Zealand on an expat happiness ranking. Isn't New Zealand just expensive and hard to get into? Yes, and yes. New Zealand has a competitive, points-based immigration system, and the cost of living, particularly in Auckland, is genuinely high. These are real challenges, and I'm going to address them honestly. But here is what the data shows, year after year. Expats who make it to New Zealand are among the most consistently satisfied in the world. Not the cheapest, not the easiest, not the most exotic, the most satisfied. And understanding why requires understanding what satisfaction actually means when you've left your home country behind. Data. New Zealand ranks in the global top 10 for quality of life, and its ease of settling in score is among the highest of any English-speaking country. 82% of expats in New Zealand rate that quality of life as good or very good. Safety scores are exceptional. New Zealand consistently places in the top 5 globally on the Global Peace Index. Work-life balance in New Zealand is superior to most Western countries. The culture has genuinely preserved the idea of a life outside work. Flexibility, outdoor activity, and time with family are valued and protected in ways that high-performance professional cultures in the US, UK, and Singapore have largely abandoned. Cost of living is real and high, particularly in Auckland. The immigration system is competitive. Skilled worker visas require employers to prove they couldn't find a local to fill the role, and the points test is rigorous. Remote work visa options exist but require active management, and New Zealand is genuinely far from everywhere. 23 hours from London, 10 to 12 hours from the US West Coast. The isolation is physical and emotional, and it affects different people very differently. Perfect for professionals with in-demand skills, young families who prioritize outdoor lifestyle and safety over urban convenience, and anyone for whom the quality of the natural environment is a genuine non-negotiable. New Zealand is not for people who need the buzz of a major world city, want to minimize cost of living, or are emotionally dependent on proximity to European or American family. 4. Spain. Spain at number 4 will surprise some people and confirm what many people who've lived there already know. Spain is not consistently at the top of general happiness rankings. It is not the wealthiest country in Europe. Its bureaucracy is famously impenetrable. Its economy has had significant structural challenges. And yet, expats in Spain are among the happiest in the world, year after year, in data collected from tens of thousands of people who chose to move there and stayed. Why? Because Spain has something that wealthy, organized, efficient countries often lack: a culture that has genuinely figured out how to live. Not how to optimize, not how to maximize, not how to be productive. How to live. How to eat slowly with people you love in the middle of a Tuesday. How to organize an entire city's social life around the evening hours when the heat is lifted and the streets fill with people who are simply present in their lives. How to take the afternoon seriously. How to celebrate constantly, and why that matters for a life well lived. Data. Spain ranks in the global top 5 for quality of life among expats. 89% of expats in Spain rate the food and dining culture positively. 84% say their work-life balance improved after moving to Spain. The climate satisfaction rate, sunshine, warmth, outdoor lifestyle, is among the highest of any surveyed destination. Perfect for people who value food culture, social warmth, outdoor lifestyle, and a Mediterranean pace of life above efficiency and career maximization. Sun seekers who want genuine European infrastructure. Digital nomads and remote workers who want a vibrant city life at below UK or below US prices. People genuinely willing to learn Spanish.
Number 3. Portugal. Portugal has been climbing expat happiness rankings for the better part of a decade, and its rise from pleasant if overlooked retirement destination to globally recognized expat paradise is one of the more remarkable stories in recent international mobility history. In 2024, Portugal ranks in the top 5 overall for expat happiness globally, and in the top 2 for ease of settling in. That second metric, ease of settling in, is the one I want to linger on, because it's the dimension that most consistently separates genuinely happy expat experiences from expensive, disappointing ones. Data. Portugal ranks 3rd globally overall for expat happiness. 87% of expats in Portugal rate the friendliness of locals toward foreigners as good or very good. 91% rate the general quality of life as good or very good. 79% say they feel at home in Portugal within the first year, a figure that is extraordinary by international comparison. Portugal consistently ranks in the top 5 globally on the Global Peace Index. It is one of the safest countries on earth. Violent crime is rare. Street crime in tourist areas of Lisbon and Porto exists, but is manageable with normal awareness. In the provinces, the concept of locking your front door every time you step out is optional. Number 2. Mexico. Mexico, at number 2 on a global expat happiness ranking, is, for many people, genuinely unexpected. The perception of Mexico in international media, dominated by stories of cartel violence, political corruption, and precarious safety, does not match the lived experience of the hundreds of thousands of expats who have moved there and describe it as one of the most alive, most generous, most surprising places they've ever called home. Data. Mexico ranks 2nd globally overall for expat happiness. 94% of expats in Mexico rate the friendliness of the local people positively, the highest rating of any country in the survey. 91% rate the quality of food and dining positively. 82% say their social life improved after moving to Mexico. Cost of living satisfaction is among the highest in the survey. Perfect for people who prioritize human warmth, cultural richness, extraordinary food, and value for money above institutional efficiency and perceived safety predictability. Retirees who want an active, vibrant, affordable urban life. Digital nomads and remote workers who want a world-class city experience at Latin American prices. Adventurous cultural explorers who are genuinely excited by Mexico's depth rather than nervous about its reputation. Number 1. Costa Rica. For the 2nd consecutive year, and for the 4th time in the last 6 surveys, the country where expats report the highest overall happiness, combining quality of life, ease of settling in, personal finance, working abroad, and expat essentials, is a country that often surprises people when they first see it at the top. The happiest country for expats in the world is Costa Rica. A democracy so stable and functional that it is sometimes called the Switzerland of Central America. A country whose national philosophy, pura vida, pure life, is not a tourist slogan, but an actual daily practice of gratitude, sufficiency, and connection that permeates every interaction you will have there. Expats in Costa Rica consistently report that within their first year, they have formed genuine friendships with Costa Ricans, not just connections with other expats. This integration rate is remarkable. It reflects both the warmth of the host culture and the nature of the communities where most expats settle. Towns small enough that social networks are visible and accessible, but large enough to have the services and amenities of a comfortable modern life. Data. Costa Rica ranks #1 globally for expat happiness. 95% of expats in Costa Rica rate the friendliness of locals positively. 93% rate their quality of life as good or very good. 88% say their work-life balance improved after moving. 91% rate personal happiness positively, higher than any other country in the survey. Expats in Costa Rica also report the second highest financial security scores in the survey.